But for those of you Michigan fans, those of you who are my age, and a lot of friends I know we have listening here, we're going to experience tonight felt unreachable and unattainable. Now we're
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And now we're freaking we just beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl. We beat Ohio State 3 years in a row. And you guys aren't, a 7-5 team. Now we're in the national championship. It's a moment just to reflect on the dark days. And again, those of you who are my age and a little bit younger know that there have been some dark days. Those of you who are older, you have experienced some of those brighter days and those glory years. We're in the national championship. And so I follow on Twitter, I follow on social, I talk to friends. Everyone's enjoying it as they should be. Let's keep enjoying it for the next, again, whenever you start watching this. I don't know. All righty. Welcome back to another episode of the Scarlet and Blue Show. A lot of fire this week. This episode, we're recording on Sunday. It's going to come out Monday morning. So if you're watching this, you will be hours away from the Michigan playing the national championship game. Everyone in this room is fired up. Right, Garrison?
Oh, I'm fired up because football, man. It's a national championship. We wait all year to get to this point. Yeah, is it kind of annoying to see you guys in it? Not. I was talking to a Sparty fan last night, and we were both in agreement. For it was like just watching you guys play national. It's just aggravating. But no, man. At the end of the day, it's still the last game of the year, so it's kind of exciting and sad at the same time. But yeah, we're excited, man. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
that's a good way to put it. It's a good way to put it. It is exciting.
Right.
Garrison is in the midst of moving because he knows if Michigan wins tonight, he
I'm
is
just moving.
fleeing the state.
No, I'm just moving down the street, man. But there's nothing here right now. So,
All right.
yeah.
You still managed to keep the flag up in the back. So good on you.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
All right, let's jump in. I asked Garrison before the show, can I get a minute here?
You
And
said three. You said three.
I said yes, thank you. Three. I just want to reflect on where we were, what's ahead of us, and no matter the outcome of this game tonight, which we will talk about X's and O's predictions, all that fun stuff here in a bit. But whether you're a young Michigan fan, you're new to this, and you've only experienced the last 3 years of success, or you're someone my age who's had some dark years, or you're somebody older where maybe this was the standard that you were always expecting. Michigan Wolverines are playing the national championship tonight.
I
They're
want to
playing
mute
the
myself.
national championship tonight. Garrison, every single year I put a $5 bet in that they'll win the Natty. Every year. I've done this ever since I could gamble. And obviously throwing away, I don't know how much money that is, probably $30, $35 total. And there's an opportunity to win it back tonight. And so we got to go back. I don't know the posters on this side of the office, but there's 97. The game happened in 1998, January 1st, 1998.
By
It
the
was
way,
a
Bryce, I like where you're going here. I'm gonna mute myself and let you go. You take as much time as you need. I like where you're going here.
Thanks, Boo.
I like it. I like it.
98, it was a 97 season. Michigan knocked off Washington State. Charles Woodson. Score was 21-16. I was 5 at that time. I don't remember it, but it was at the Rose Bowl. And that year it was shared. The national championship was shared. Everyone knows it was shared with Nebraska. That's why a lot of Michigan fans hate Scott Frost. And the reason I say I was 5 is because I don't understand that disdain and hate towards Scott Frost. But, you bring my dad on here, he'll explain all fine and well why that hate and disdain is there. Because he believes that they didn't deserve that. And as a result, that was a national championship that we had to share. It was Tom Osborne's last one. So did we win the Natty in 97? Sure. Was it outright? No, it wasn't. Garrison, you can unmute yourself here. When was the last time Michigan won an outright national championship?
1948. I, be-
1948.
I believe Lou Holtz was 1 years old.
And that was 3 years removed from the Second World War, I believe, if my history is
Yes.
correct. So it's been a minute. I'm not going to go back from that date, but I want to go back starting at this date, which was September 7th, 2000, the year 2000. We played Bowling Green. We won 42-7. That was your boys' first time at the Big House. 8 years old. That was the first time I got to experience the big house, a place my dad has gone to every year since he was just a pup. That was my first taste. Fast forward to 2003, the end of the year, the game, the 100th rendition, the 100th edition of the game was played in Ann Arbor. Chris Perry, John Navarre beat Ohio State 34-21. Now, those of you who watch this show are familiar with this rivalry. It was a few years since we beat you guys again. Matter of fact, it was 8 years since until that next time we beat you. Let's jump ahead a couple more seasons. 2007. That was probably the year, but prior to this season, the team that was going into the preseason with the most hype. You had Chad Henne back, Mike Hart, Jake Long, a bunch on defense. You came off the year where you almost got Ohio State.
Sean Crable.
Sean Crable.
Does David Harris on that team?
David Harris was on that
David
team.
Harris.
There's a lot of talent.
I think Leon Hall.
Leon, look at you.
Bryce. I don't know if you saw it the other day. Prescott Burgess. I don't know if you saw it the other
Burgess,
day.
Yep.
I know that team, Bryce. I think it's the greatest football game ever played in college. And
that was.
Yeah.
Was that we were together for that? No, we weren't. We were not together for that one. I remember where I was, and I guess I wasn't with you. So that 2006 game happened. That hit, I don't think it was a late hit, but they called it a roughing the passer or unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yep.
Buckeyes got the first down. Pretty much game was over.
Yep.
So then 2007, you're going into this season. We're ranked number 5. Everybody's back. Senior led team. And the 3-time defending 1AA champion. They might have been 2-time at that point, and then they won the third. They won it that year. So by the end of the season, 3-time, 1AA at the time, national champion. App State Mountaineers came into town and pulled off one of the biggest upsets, if not the biggest upset in college football history.
It is the biggest upset in college football.
Yeah, one of the biggest upsets.
It is right. It was Bryce. I think it's the first time a 1AA team ever beat a top 10 team, Bryce.
Yeah.
It never happened before.
No, it hasn't. You know who's at that game?
You.
Yep. Lost to App State and then lost to Oregon the next week. And all of a sudden we're 0-2 in this season that we're supposed to be competing for the BCS National Championship.
Yeah.
And that was 2007 season, which was a wild season in all of college football. But there was no better way to kick off that insane season than that App State upset. And then a beatdown by Dennis Dixon. And was it Jonathan Stewart? Was he the running back for Oregon? I think it was.
Jonathan Stewart, and the quarterback was
Dennis Dixon.
Yep.
They throttled us 39-7 at home.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And then that year, you guys came to town, beat us 14-3. And we finished that season knocking off the Urban Meyer led. The only time Michigan beat Urban Meyer. We beat Florida that year. That was a fun game. It was a weird way to end the season because it was a good note, but of course it was a disappointing season because we ended up losing 3 games that year. And then before that, Lloyd Carr obviously announced that he was leaving. Rich Rod was coming in. Rich Rod was hired before that Capital One Bowl. But that dawn, after that final snap, final second ticked off the clock down in, I think it was Orlando. Michigan brought on Rich Rod, and we entered the darkest days since the 1960s of Michigan football.
Hey,
Rich Rod went.
Check your phone real quick.
Oh, yeah, Prescott Burgess.
Yeah, you see it?
Yeah, we'll share that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually really cool.
So we started the Rich Rod era. Rich Rod went 15-22. 15-22. That's what you do at Rutgers. You don't do that at Michigan. A couple highlights from that saga. Michigan went 3-9 his first year. 3-9. The first time we didn't go to a bowl game since I was been alive.
They could have given him more support. Could
have. Probably, yep, could have. It was brand new offense at the time. Remember, there was that crazy spread offense that
he turned down Alabama for you guys.
Yeah. That's I don't know. That's a rumor. I don't know if that's
no, Bryce. It's fact.
I'll have to double check that. Guy goes 3-9, loses 10-13 to Toledo, the MAC powerhouse. gets canned after 3 years. We go out, we find the San Diego State head coach, Brady Hoke, who I don't think he ever actually knew what a headset was. He had one good season. We won the Sugar Bowl, that weird game to Virginia Tech. Never forget that game. Denard, Junior Hemingway, a couple big catches. This is a weird game. And then proceeds to go, I think he went 7-5, 7-5, and then 5-7 his last year. And then he was canned after that. His record was 31-20. I've got written down here. Now, mind you, during this era, this 2008 to 2014 era, our bitter rivals, your team, went 77-16. Now, mind you, one of those seasons was that 2011 season, which I think we all agree is an outlier for you guys. That wasn't Ohio State football. So take that game out. You just as well go. You could say you go 84 and I don't know. My math's probably not totally right.
Bryce, I think we've had since 2000 to today. We've had 2 4-loss seasons. That's 7 loss and 1 3-loss.
There you go. There you go.
And everything else is 2 losses and up or less.
Yeah, I mean, you went 77-16 even in the midst of that.
Yeah.
You had a national championship win at the end of that era, so 2014. And then I don't think you had a Big Ten championship until afterwards. But
and we had we had 2 national championship losses in that time span.
Yeah. Michigan State, that impoverished program down the road, during that era went 60. I don't know if that math's right. I think a 68-33.
What?
Yeah. I gotta double check my math there.
They were pretty good at the time.
They were good. Mark D'Antonio had them going.
Yeah.
2007 was the year that Mike Hart made those comments. That was D'Antonio's first year. That was his loss. After that, lost only a handful of games following. Lost in 2012. And that was it during that era. And had a Rose Bowl playoff appearance. It was 15. So you've got your 2 rivals pretty much running the Big Ten. Penn State had some issues, but they were competitive. They were coming off that whole scandal, that whole debacle. So
Wisconsin has some time in there too.
I was gonna say Wisconsin. I think Nebraska had some success when they first joined with Bo Pelini. I'm just thinking of who played in the Big Ten championship.
No, he was 9-3 every year.
Yeah. Oh, I bet how they wish they had that.
Yep.
And then on a fateful day, December 30th, 2014, we brought in the big dog himself, Mr. Jimothy Harbaugh. Came in, guy who's won everywhere, won at San Diego, won at Stanford, won in San Francisco in the NFL, had great success, came in to revive the program. If people remember right, he was oftentimes pretty critical of Michigan before he came on. He was critical maybe of academic standards.
Because he was at Stanford at the time.
And he was at Stanford at the time. Even before that, I think he was very critical. But he was the guy we needed. And coming off of those 2 years, those 2 previous coaches that were just utter debacles, he was the one who we needed to come in, and he had a lot of leash to work with. Wasn't always pretty. I don't need to go through every season. We've done that.
And in his 4th year, he had essentially the same record as Brady Hoke. In his 3rd year, he did.
In his third, Brady's 3rd year?
Yeah, he essentially had the same record as he did.
Okay, someone can fact check that, but that sounds probably fair. But that opening loss to Utah, which you just mentioned. In 2015, we had the trouble with the snap game, which the football gods, man. I don't know. It's disgusting. 2016 rolled around. Oh, no, 2015 too. We got blown out by you guys at home. And we were like, all right, we got to change things. We need more talent in here. We got to change the mentality because we got just donkey stomped.
What game?
2015. Zeke Elliott had a big night.
Oh, yeah.
I think I don't have the score here, but it was a lot to a little. 2016 came. Of course, there was a great game in Columbus. The whole JT was short. We'll call it that game.
That's what you guys call it, not the public, not the.
Well,
masses.
he was short. He was short.
Yeah, and you guys had 5 yards in the 4th quarter, had 3 turnovers, one that went for a touchdown. And even after that play, after JT's first down, you had 4 more downs to stop us.
We stopped you on 4th down.
You didn't.
I think too, if that game goes the other way, things look different because that would have gave us some serious
So
momentum.
nice. Is this the way?
He was. He was. He was. I looked at the side. I looked down the line, and he was this short. Jim's never wrong. Um,
Okay.
and then 17 hit, and 17 you had some bad. You had that bad loss to Michigan State. I was at that game. It was rainy. The great John O'Corn, I think, threw 4 picks. It's pretty awesome. And then had a chance to beat you guys too. Speaking of the guy, John O'Corn had the ball back at the end of the game for a game-winning drive. Threw a dud right in the middle of the field.
Yep.
Basically a pop fly, easy pick, and you guys took care of business. 18-19 hit, a lot of height. Shea Patterson came in, got our 5-star, and we got donkey kicked by you guys again. And
As a favorite,
well, yeah, the 2019 was as a favorite, right?
No,
18.
2018, you guys came in as a favorite because that was the year our defense was the worst defense in Ohio State history. We had Haskins, like we could score, but we couldn't stop anyone. You guys came in as the favorite. And
That was in
for
Columbus?
for the first time in a long time, you guys came in as the favorite.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Got donkey stomped.
Yeah, we did. That wasn't great. That point, that when I remember after that game, so it would have been around 3:30, starting the next games. People are saying Harbaugh's not the guy. We gave him ample opportunity, can't get it done. At that point, he had a losing record to Michigan State, or it was tied. It was close, and then obviously it hasn't been Ohio State yet. 2020 hits, COVID hits.
No, not 2019. You forgot 2019.
I was kind of, I don't have anything else to say about 2018, 2019. Okay. I was saying those 2 years were both bad. You beat us.
Okay.
The breaks off of us both those years.
I got you.
You don't need to add that context.
And that was, oh, wait. The context is also this because the feeling. That was Ryan Day's first year.
Yeah.
That was also the context of it. So, yeah.
No, that's true. That was Ryan Day's first season. I'm not going to badmouth Ryan Day. I'm not going to badmouth Ryan Day. I'm not going to badmouth Ryan Day. This is about Jim. Yeah, 2020 hit. COVID. Season, it was bad. Garrison, we had a big win against Minnesota. We thought, we're Joe Milton for Heisman.
No, Joe Clapp called the next Cam Newton.
I hope that guy has great success in the league. I really do. I hope the best for him.
That's a far cry.
If you need Joe Milton to throw a 60-yard bomb, he'll throw a 60-yard bomb. You need Joe Milton to throw a 10-yard hook, he'll throw a 60-yard bomb.
I gave him credit, and I try to give him some help, man. I try to say no, there's a chance that maybe it was Jim. No, it was just you.
Yeah,
it was just great. You.
Wasn't great.
Hypo couldn't help you.
You had one good game in the Orange Bowl last year against Clemson. And so that was COVID. I mean, we lost. We got curb stomped by Wisconsin. Lost for the first time since I think '87 to Indiana. And again, first time since you or I have been alive since we lost.
That was Michael Penix.
That was Michael Penix. Yep. We got killed by them.
That game wasn't close.
No. I think it was close in like the first quarter, part of the second quarter, and then they ran away with it.
Indiana ran away with it.
I know. Remember they beat Penn State that year too. Penn State went 2-4.
They almost beat us.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a weird. That shows how dumb of a season that was.
No, it's football.
And then, unfortunately, that disease and that virus took over and didn't allow us to beat you guys at the end of the season. So that was it.
Yeah, sure.
Jim had to renegotiate his contract, very much incentive based, and those who can read between the lines of contractual agreements know that basically means you got to win or you're done. Yep. This is the last shot. And we find ourselves in this we'll call it a new era. Guys that you look at are Aiden Hutchinson, Josh Ross, Andrew Vastardis, Hassan Haskins, those guys that came back. And really, that's just Aiden Hutchinson who had the opportunity to maybe go to the league. But those guys all kind of stayed, stuck around, and flipped the script. I mean, there are so many highlights from that game or from that season. Going into Nebraska, should have lost that game probably, or the teams of old would have lost that game, would have folded on the road.
Yep.
But we fought back. Going to Wisconsin. Obviously, that season's week 2 was the last time we played Washington, which is pretty wild. So I don't need to then talk about recent history because everyone's aware of that, man. But for those of you Michigan fans, those of you who are my age, and a lot of friends I know we have listening here, this at a point, what we're going to experience tonight felt unreachable and unattainable. Now we're
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And now we're freaking in the. We just beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl. We beat Ohio State 3 years in a row. And you guys aren't, a 7-5 team. We've 2021 Michigan State. That still bothers me. But beat Michigan State 2 years in a row.
Yeah, they have one of the best players in the nation, bro.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. That helps. And he decided to go off that game and then just forget about playing against you guys. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. And now we're in the national championship. And Garrison, we could talk about that here, but it's a moment just to reflect on the dark days. And again, those of you who are my age and a little bit younger know that there have been some dark days. Those of you who are older, you have experienced some of those brighter days and those glory years. And I don't want to talk about the future. I think it's easy to do that. I think it's easy to look at recruiting and look at coaching and returning players, but we're in the freaking.
Which I do want to talk about eventually, but that's not for you.
Yeah, we can talk about that. I suppose it later, but we're in the national championship, and so I follow on Twitter, I follow on social, I talk to friends. Everyone's enjoying it as they should be. Let's keep enjoying it for the next, again, whenever you start watching this, I don't know, next couple hours, and then hopefully when we come back and record this again, which we haven't really talked about when we're going to do that. If they win, daggone, I'm going to call you at 2 a.m. on the drive back home from Houston, but if we, if they can win this game, then we'll have a fun time recording. If they don't, I mean, I don't want to say it's still a win because it's not. I think
if that happens, I promise you, I will give you grace in the I will give you grace.
What a guy! What a man of honor!
Then I'll wait the next episode.
Yeah,
but listen, so, I think I think I've added on enough during your 30-minute soliloquy. I think I had enough in there. I agree with you, man, and I agree with you.
If you watched the last episode, you saw the video of my family. That was the whole family, but my dad, brother-in-law, sister, and the excitement. And then you saw videos all throughout the week of the Rose Bowl win. That was.
Oh, you kissed the babies. You could tell
in the video. You kissed my wife and baby.
Yeah.
The birth of my children, married my beautiful bride, proposing to her, a handful of other things. But daggone it, that game was top 10 greatest moments in my life. Oh, and I hope that tonight I get to add to that list because I am so freaking excited. So excited, and I hope all you Michigan fans are too. Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Huskies. I can start off here, Garrison. I did not get into a lot of the predictions against Alabama. I didn't. Obviously, I watched all the segments. I didn't watch film on them, but watched a lot. I watched their games all year, so kind of knew what we were going up against and had my thoughts and what we needed to do. And I know we talked about that a little bit, but in that game, I just wanted to win. I just wanted to get over the first round playoff hurdle and get that win, and so we got it. And Washington, I think that logic could probably still be applied to this game, but feeling a little bit different about Washington and excited to talk about it, man. Because I think if you watch Joel Klatt this week, he talked about how Michigan's football program, and obviously specifically the defense, was built to go against you guys, was built to go against the high-powered offense, the really good quarterback, the talented receivers. This is what Mike McDonald and Jesse Minter were brought in to do, and they've done. And I don't, we can talk about how Penix compares to Fields and CJ Stroud, which shout out to Stroud, big win 2 nights ago to get to the playoffs. But we can talk about that. But I just think, I think it's interesting because he makes me worried. Michael Penix does. I am so impressed with that guy. I am so impressed with how quickly he gets the ball out.
Yep.
And his decision making, and even just his pocket presence, he's shifting to side to side, avoiding the rush and the blitz. So impressed.
I think the offenses are very similar. A very talented, hyper accurate quarterback.
You're talking about Ohio State to you guys?
Yeah.
Or to Michigan and Washington?
No, to Ohio State to Washington. You have 3 wide receivers that will all go first round. I think our sets have been better, but theirs is very close. It's not like some big gap.
Yeah.
These guys are very good.
Well, I'm hearing
Cole,
Washington fans are saying Odunze is better than Marvin Harrison.
yeah, they said it. I heard Johnny Olden said. I heard Tom Fornelli say it. I think it's absolutely stupid. I think you're talking about two guys that are very tall, very fast, but one's bigger. One has better body control. You can watch both of the highlight films. You'll see more routes out of Marvin. Marvin has a larger catch radius. They both make contested throws. Marv's a little bit his spectacular catches a little bit more spectacular. And everyone wants to compare this year's Marvin with him, but in all reality, I if Dunze didn't play in a game, they would win. Still, they would probably still win very comfortably.
Mm.
If Marv doesn't play in a game, we struggle. This year specifically because Emeka was hurt a lot. Julian didn't didn't progress as well as he should have from last year. A lot of that some of that has to do with the new offensive line, a new quarterback, Bryce. Case Stover was hurt for some games this year. All that happened, but who's the constant?
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison. And he still has many touchdowns as you on less receptions.
There you go.
All right, but that's another story. But regardless, you're facing the same thing. Now, their running back, Dylan Johnson, we're not sure. He had a high ankle sprain that he re-aggravated, so we're not sure what he's going to look like. But I don't think the offense, Bryce, is not what you need to worry about when it comes to Washington. This defense is better than the defense that you played in 2021 Ohio State. Now, their defense they're not some game breakers. They have a few off the edge. But it's not some Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, or Michigan's defense. It ain't that. But they do make more plays than that 21 Ohio State defense did. That 21 Ohio State defense is one of the worst. I think it's arguably the worst in Ohio State history.
Yeah.
So I think it's two things. I think it's imperative that Michigan hold on to the ball.
Yep.
And that Michael Penix, don't turn the ball over. Just don't. Because as soon as you do that, this is how I feel for both teams. If anyone gets a double-digit lead, the game is over.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
say plus
100%.
I think it's like 13 plus game, like just under a touchdown over. I mean, game over. Game over.
Because you're saying,
I think at that point, it means Washington. No, because I think at that point, Bryce, Washington's moving that ball on you guys, and you can't stop a darn thing. If they're up by, we have not seen Michigan down double digits in the last 2 years. We have not seen it yet. So is
TCU.
Yes, and you lost.
Yeah.
So
could have won.
You could have, but you were down 20 to 6 at half, 21 to 6 at halftime. So it wasn't 2-score game, but you were very lucky that Jake Booty hit that 50 plus yard at the end of the quarter, at the first half. So not lucky, but fortunate. But I mean, take that away. Outside, like we said, we haven't seen you guys in those situations. And the one time you have, that means you were not able to stop the other team, and you guys couldn't keep the ball because your run game wasn't working.
Yep.
So I think that's. I think if Washington's up double digits, I don't think that means they're moving that ball, and there's nothing you guys can do about it. And I think if you guys are double digits, I think it's bad for them because
we just eat the clock.
That clock is gone, bro. Yeah. It is. So
yeah, I agree with you half of that way. I think if Michigan goes up by 13 plus, I think it's over. I think if Washington goes up, the reason I say that is because Texas came back too. And just weird things can happen. And that offense is meant to strike so quickly.
You guys don't have the same quarterback, Bryce, and you don't have the same wide receivers. AD Mitchell and Worthy are wide receiver 1 and 2 on your team, without question. So like that.
Still no respect for JJ.
Wait. And their tight end is exceedingly better than every single tight end on your team. So you're missing the fact that they have these. Bryce, I don't know if you watch Texas tight end. He's the best tight end in the country. He is.
Don't get me to argue with you on this episode. This is supposed to be
Bryce,
a joyful episode.
No, I know, but if you can't even tell me that your own tight end is the best in his own conference, which he wasn't this year, you can't sit here and tell me that he compares to the best tight end in the nation. So,
Best tight end in the nation is Brock Bowers.
well, I'm sorry, second best tight end. I'm sorry, right, second best tight end. He's been all right, even though this year he's been right up there on average numbers. So they have all these weapons, Bryce, that you guys don't have. That's why they were able, and you got to remember, it's a fluky mistake by Washington for not kneeing the ball, and then they're
No, that's
playing.
true. That's true.
So like, and they're playing getting hurt with stopped up clock, which is the greatest injury of all time for opposing team. It sounds crazy, but it was. Um,
Wait, what?
I said it's the greatest injury because I tweeted out when that happened. I'm sure, like Texas coach
Sorry.
Sarkisian never wants to see a kid get hurt, but there was ever a time for a kid to get injured. That was the moment for
Oh,
him.
that kid has to scream to his lineman or somebody and say, "Carry me off this field." Like you can't.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta know. You go get a helicopter to
yeah,
come and
Bryce,
carry
Bryce,
you.
yeah. Hey, you better hobble off that field, bro,
Roll, barrel roll, like a kid
yeah,
going down a hill.
because you stopped the clock. But I'm saying that's what it took.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
That's why I'm saying I think coming back on them is very hard, especially knowing that the strengths of Washington's defense are their edge players and their corners.
Good cornerbacks.
So that's the reason why I say if it's 13 plus of them too, you guys are done for. But yeah.
Yeah. What's your prediction?
I have Michigan 33-24. I've said that. I said that the other day, and
Wow.
I'm sticking
Okay.
to it.
Covering and obviously winning. Okay.
I I listen. If you guys lose this game, I will give Grizz my plan on killing. I don't think you're supposed to. I don't think you should be losing this game.
No, 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 no. You can't.
I I don't
Give
know, bro.
flack because that's what you're supposed to do. I
No,
get it.
no, 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 Bryce. Last year when Georgia played TCU, when Ohio State, if Ohio State had played TCU, when you guys played TCU, I said I don't care which one of these three teams play them. You are not supposed to lose that game, and Georgia proved that. You're not supposed to lose that
Are
game to
you
TCU.
comparing? Are you saying we're Georgia, Washington's TCU?
No, I think it's a little bit closer than that, of course, because that was like a 40 point, almost a 50 point game. What I'm saying for this is that you guys are still better than this team.
I agree. I think we are, but it's college football, and I do think Penix, big Penix energy is all that. I think he is
I didn't
special.
think Ohio State was supposed to lose to Oregon. When we Bryce, when we got on that field with Oregon, there was nothing that made me think we should lose to Oregon and Marcus Mariota. Nothing made me think that.
It's a good comparison, actually. Those are
I just
those are very similar teams. Actually, have we
yes.
talked about that? This is a very similar matchup. Like you guys rode Zeke Elliott.
How much time do you have?
We have 4 minutes left. No, we're not going to compare. We're not going to talk about that. Let's talk about that. That's great
Okay.
offseason. If Michigan wins, that's
Yeah.
write that down. We'll compare those two because I
What's
think
your
those
score?
teams. I don't have a prediction. I'm too scared to make a prediction.
Okay.
I think I can't ever make a prediction if I'm going to the game. I don't bet on the game.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Do
Like hey, when Hurst Street goes, they don't call the game.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, thank you.
Well, while we have a little bit of time left,
Yeah, you have some Ohio State updates.
listen, baby, listen, baby, let's go, let's
The
go.
best thing to happen to you guys
You want to
since the
see me
Penn State game.
excited? Listen, man. I tweeted out a few days ago or last week. I said I really wish I could hear what was being talked about in these halls and then inside the Woody between these players because Mike Hall said he was leaving. A few other guys had to leave, but no one was talking. No one was talking. But so I said, for these guys not to declare already, this means something. Boom, Tyleek Williams, baby. Tyleek with the third. I'd probably say the third best defensive tackle in the Big Ten, behind Newton and Graham. And he was gonna be a first or second rounder. And then boom, Bryce. Lathan Ransom. And he's not one of those guys, Bryce, who leave on their sixth year. You know what he does? He stayed. And he was a really good safety for us before he got injured.
If you're gonna be critical of Kobe guys coming back, aren't you gonna be critical?
Yeah, I am, Bryce, but I'm gonna get to that if I hurry up.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
And then boom, the guy who's in the cows, Jack Sawyer, who turned. If anyone had a pulse in that game against Missouri, it was him.
Only him.
It was him. We still haven't heard from Tuamoloau.
No way he's coming back. Go ahead. Sorry.
We'll see. We'll see.
Is Burke?
We don't know yet. We're still waiting on him.
Yeah, it's a lot of time has gone by.
So yeah, and so that's why it's getting like I think they're coming back. I think they're coming back. And we got uh we got Alabama center. I don't think he's playing center for us. I think he's going to guard.
You mean the All
And
American? We retired
yeah,
his number, by the way.
yeah, I saw that. That's hilarious. That was one of the best tweets you've ever had. Like in my eyes, it was really creative. But
Thank
no,
you.
but he was actually one of the best blockers, pass and run blockers in the nation all year. The guy just sucks at snapping all year. So I think he's playing guard for us. Like,
Yes. Yes.
like, like
I'm not
it's
gonna put
just.
poo on you. Yes.
Well, so I was being honest. At least I'm being honest.
You're being honest. Yep.
And I think he's playing guard for us. Um, Judkins.
Is he going?
Now,
He said something?
bro, Bryce, he's been following everyone on Ohio State's roster, like of our star players. I think if Travion leaves, he's coming.
What if Trey stays?
I don't know.
I don't see those two being happy about splitting carries.
I maybe not Bryce and Dallin Hayden, but I'm gonna be honest. I'll risk it all for I
Is
love I love Travion. I'll risk it all for Judkins.
is Xavier Johnson back? Is he gone?
He's gone.
Okay. So then it would be Hayden, Trey, and Junkie. All
Yeah.
right, well, we're about to wrap here. We'll talk more about that. I added it to our list.
Oh
We'll
yeah,
bring that
all the
back up later.
offseason. Yeah.
But
All right, man.
let's go
Hey,
blue,
good
baby.
luck. Good luck,
Hey,
man.
if you're
Good
in
luck.
Houston, tweet at me.
They got I heard they got great specific type of clubs there. They serve ribs. If you like to throw some dollars,
Go blue.
See, Bryce.